the psychology of people who always feel like a burden. Some people do not ask for help because they do not believe help is safe. They do not say, "I need you." They say, "It's okay." They say, "Don't worry." They say, "I can handle it." Even when they are tired, even when they are overwhelmed, even when they are silently falling apart. Because somewhere inside them, needing something does not feel normal, feels dangerous, feels embarrassing, feels like they are asking for too much, feels like they are becoming a burden. And this is one of the quietest kinds of emotional pain, because from the outside, they may look independent. They may look strong. They may look easy to be around. They may look like the person who never causes problems, never asks for attention, never makes things complicated. But inside, they are constantly measuring their place in other people's lives. They wonder if they are talking too much. They wonder if they are needing too much. They wonder if their sadness is too heavy. They wonder if their problems are too annoying. They wonder if people secretly feel tired of them. So they learn to shrink themselves. They make their needs smaller. They make their voice softer. They make their pain more convenient for everyone else. They apologize before asking a question. They say sorry before sharing how they feel. They explain themselves too much. They try to make sure their emotions are easy to accept. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are afraid that if they become difficult, people will leave. For some people, feeling like a burden did not start in adulthood. It started much earlier. Maybe they grew up around people who were already overwhelmed. Maybe their parents were stressed, tired, emotionally unavailable, or constantly dealing with their own problems. So the child learned something without anyone saying it directly. My needs make life harder. My feelings create problems. If I ask for too much, I will be rejected. If I stay quiet, I am easier to love. And children do not question these lessons. They absorb them. They do not think, the adults around me are emotionally limited. They think, something is wrong with me for needing care. So they become the easy child, the quiet child, the helpful child, the child who does not complain, the child who notices when adults are tired and decides not to add more weight. They learn to read the room before speaking. They learn to hide disappointment. They learn to smile even when they want comfort. They learn to survive by not needing too much. And years later, they may become adults who still carry that same rule. Do not be too much. Do not text too much. Do not cry too much. Do not ask for reassurance too often. Do not talk about the same pain again. Do not need people more than they need you. So when they are struggling, they do not reach out. They isolate. They disappear. They convince themselves that everyone else has enough to deal with. They tell themselves, I don't want to bother anyone. But underneath that sentence is often a deeper fear. I am afraid they will confirm that I am too much. This is why kindness can feel uncomfortable to them. When someone genuinely wants to help, they may not relax. They may feel guilty. They may feel exposed. They may immediately think, how can I repay this? Because receiving care without earning it feels unfamiliar. They are used to being useful. They are used to being low maintenance. They are used to proving that they deserve a place. So love that comes freely can feel suspicious. Support that asks for nothing in return can feel unsafe. They may even reject help before it reaches them. Not because they do not want it, but because wanting it makes them feel vulnerable. And vulnerability, for them, has often been connected to shame. The painful part is that they may give others the care they cannot receive themselves. They will listen for hours. They will show up when someone is hurting. They will remember tiny details. They will make space for other people's emotions. They will say, you are not a burden, and they will mean it. But when it is their turn to need support, they cannot believe the same thing applies to them. They treat other people's pain as human, but they treat their own pain as an inconvenience. They treat other people's needs as valid, but they treat their own needs as something to hide. And this creates a quiet loneliness, because they are surrounded by people, but they do not feel allowed to fully exist. They are loved, but they do not always feel safe being loved when they are not useful. They are cared for, but they struggle to believe care will remain if they stop performing strength. So they keep carrying things alone, not because no one would help, but because asking feels like risking the relationship. They think, what if they get tired of me? What if they think I am needy? What if they regret being close to me? What if this is the moment they realize I am too heavy to love? And so they suffer quietly. They minimize their pain. They say, it's not a big deal. They say, other people have it worse. They say, I should be able to handle this. But pain does not disappear just because you compare it to someone else's. A wound does not become less real because another wound is deeper. And needing support does not make you weak. It makes you human. The healing begins when they realize that being loved is not the same as being useful. You do not have to earn your place by being easy. You do not have to be silent to be accepted. You do not have to hide your pain to protect everyone else from discomfort. And you do not have to carry everything alone just because you learn to. Sometimes, the people who feel like a burden are not actually asking for too much. They are asking for the bare minimum of human connection. A little patience. A little reassurance. A little space to be honest. A little reminder that they are allowed to need care too. Because real love does not only want you when you are happy, helpful, calm, and convenient. Real love has room for your tiredness, your confusion, your bad days, your repeated fears, your unfinished healing. And maybe the hardest thing for someone who feels like a burden to believe is this: the right people do not feel trapped by your humanity. They do not see your needs as proof that you are too much. They see them as part of being close to you. You are not a burden because you need support. You are not a burden because you have emotions. You are not a burden because your healing takes time. You are not a burden because some days you cannot carry everything perfectly. You are a person. And people are not meant to be weightless. They are meant to be held sometimes. So maybe the goal is not to become someone who never needs anything. Maybe the goal is to stop apologizing for having a heart that needs care. Maybe the goal is to let safe people show you that your presence is not a problem. Your pain is not too heavy. Your needs are not shameful. And your existence does not have to be convenient to be worthy of love.